Here at Lake Tobias, we have 4 giraffes. We've got Bakari behind me there. He is our oldest, he is 7. And then next to him is our youngest, Oliver. He is 2. And then over on the other side of the barn, we have Tucker and Kimba. My name is Allie. I'm the giraffe manager here at Lake Tobias. So our giraffe barn is set up that we have 3 stalls for our giraffes. The one that we're in right now is Kimba and Oliver's stall. And then we have Bakari's stall and Tucker's stall. Bakari and Tucker share a stall overnight. We let them go in between. Over the winter, our days look a little bit different here because if the temperature is below 45 degrees, the giraffes do have to stay inside. So we have this nice big arena behind us. So that's kind of like their exercise area for the day that we let them into. Right away in the morning, we do training with all of our giraffes. We call it the tamer. All the giraffes walk in that every single day. We like to do that just because it's not stressful if they're used to doing it every day, and we get to do a lot of different veterinary care procedures inside of that tamer. So we do targeting with them. We hold up a tennis ball and we let them touch their nose to it, and it's like a very rudimentary skill for them to learn. So this is the target stick like I was saying. Target. Good boy. Hi guys. And then after we learn targeting with them, we like to do desensitization training with them. So basically that's touching their eyes, their ears, their mouth, their ossicones, because giraffes are pretty much like giant toddlers, I always say, because if they can put their tongues on anything, stick their heads through something, they're gonna do it. So if some giraffe would get any sort of injury, it's really nice if we can touch it and look at it. And if we're touching those eyes, ears, and all that stuff every single day, they are super used to it. So if we need to check out a scrape that they got, it's not like, hey, why are they touching me there? They don't normally touch me there. Or if the vet needs to come and do something, it's all stuff they do every single day, so they are super cooperative with it. Touch. Good boy. Good job, bud. And then we like to just give the cue touch before we like go in and touch them, because then he's like learning to anticipate like that we're going to be doing something. Tucker, when we were redoing his training, we actually had to break it down into like every single body part we had to cue. So we would tell him cheek, and then we would just touch his cheek, and then eye, ossicone, ear. But everyone else is pretty okay with just hearing the cue touch, and then we can just do it all. And they don't seem to mind. And then we do voluntary hoof training with all of our giraffes as well. So we have this nice big hoof box, and all the giraffes know to put their front feet on that box and roll it. So if the vet needs to look at their feet, file them down for any sort of reason, they do that. And then we pick up their back feet as well so that we can file them. And then all of their injections that we do, because they do get vaccines just like you and I, we do voluntary poke training with them. So we poke them in the hip or the shoulder, and we tell them poke, and we use a paper clip for that. Just so that kind of simulates what a poke would feel like rather than a needle. Poke. Good boy. So this would be our poke training for injections. So this is where you can get like shots, vaccines, all that sort of thing. We also do voluntary blood draws because we take blood from them every year just to make sure their bodies are functioning the way that they should. And then we're actually going to make Bakari a plasma donor this year, so hopefully he can save giraffe calves along the East Coast, because spun down plasma from a healthy giraffe is like, it can bring giraffe calves back. Our vet has told us that there's not a lot of giraffes on the East Coast that are plasma donors, so they have to like fly this plasma from like across the country if calves along the East Coast need it. So he said it's really exciting that Bakari is so great for it. He'll stand there forever and just let you keep drawing blood. It's like he really doesn't care what you're doing to him ever. I just think like they are threatened out in the wild, and if you're not actually interacting with these animals and seeing how beautiful they are, and like kids light up when they see Bakari in the summer because he's like so in your face and wants to lick you and like wants to be pet. And I just think it makes such an impression on people when they come that they just like want to research about giraffes and be like, how can I help this species survive in the wild? Like I think if you just saw them on TV, you'd just be like, oh, it's just another animal. Like you wouldn't care about donating to conservation or any sort of thing. So I think it's just great to interact with them because you're gonna wanna help them out, because I mean, he's just amazing. So I just don't know why you wouldn't want them to thrive and keep living out in the wild. I never really knew I liked giraffes until I worked with them, but like they're the most charismatic animal and they each have their own like personalities, and it's really fun to work with them and just see how different they really are. Like Kimba and Bakari, I think are basically the same giraffe. They get into trouble all the time. Bakari's like always in your business, so is Kimba. And then Oliver here, our little guy, is the biggest sweetheart. And then we have Tucker. He's kind of our oddball of the group. If you come in the summer, he just kind of likes to hang out by himself most of the time. I love them all. They are all great, and they're just super fun to work with, and training is super fun, and getting to teach them different things. I guess like knowing that bond that I have with him, it's just a great job. Like I don't know who could complain about working with giraffes, so it's just great.